Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, bro, why does my voice sound so fucked right now? It's so nasal. Hey, what's up, guys? How are you? I am back. It is Sunday, April 19th. Yes, bro, Corona is starting to die down, thank God. Looks like the curve is starting to flatten, and the country is slowly starting to reopen, and people are starting to be more optimistic. The markets are starting to come back up again. People are getting their stimulus checks. I haven't gotten one. I don't think I ever will, unfortunately, because I was probably dependent last year for my parents. But whatever, it is what it is. I don't need a check to keep on going, so I'll be fine. Anyways, life is good. Life is moving on. People are adjusting. The weather's starting to get better. It's starting to become summer again. And, it's not summer yet, but, it's starting to get into that dope-ass weather. So I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm starting to get more optimistic. I'm slowly starting to emerge from my quarantine a little bit more and more. I finally started working at CVS as a pharmacy technician. I'm still doing some of the training and everything, but it's good to be back in the workforce again, back interacting with people daily, and trying to do what I can to help out people in the community. Definitely, people still need their medication. People still need, people to be working, and I'm happy to be helping out in that regard. I do, miss Walgreens though. To be honest, I prefer to actually be working at Walgreens just because it felt more like a family, and I'll always have a soft spot for Walgreens in my heart. But CVS is cool too, but yeah, Walgreens is where it's at, y'all. Anyways, I wanted to be kind of more focused about these vlogs, kind of less kind of meandering and free associative and just like riffing on an idea, and more focused on kind of the purpose that I'm trying to really hone in on, which was that good life movement. So building off of last week's vlog, if you haven't seen it yet, go see it. I kind of introduced the idea of the good life. Basically, I want to talk about the first tenet of the good life, which is wealth. Get rich. Okay, and what does get rich mean? It means financial freedom. It means basically having the freedom to make financial decisions without worrying about the outcome, or not worrying about the outcome, without having to worry whether you will be able to afford something that you want, or whether money is a large consideration about the decisions you make in your life. That's kind of what financial freedom means. Essentially, like, can I buy whatever I want, within reason, whenever I want to. And the reason that's important is that it is freedom. Like, Casey Neistat made a video a long time ago about, does money buy happiness? And there's been a lot of studies about it, but like in the video, he talks about, for some people, it certainly does. Because there are some problems that having money solves, like going to the hospital if you're sick, being able to afford, a roof over your head, and when you can't, pay your bills. Like those kind of stressors, those financial stressors, really, put pressure on you to be, always on top of your responsibilities, and sometimes on top of responsibilities for other people who can't, do that for themselves. So by achieving financial freedom, those kind of, bottom level foundational kind of stressors, when we're climbing Maslow's hierarchy of needs, those stressors are relieved from you. And, in another way, you're kind of also, you have more layers of, distance between other stressors that, can affect your life as well. If you're more wealthy, then you probably eat, better food. You probably have better access to healthcare, and, disease and, calamity and, unfortunate events. You're kind of removed from those a little bit more. You're in less, crime-ridden areas. Your overall quality of life improves, and, certainly that can make your life better, and that can, buy you happiness. I mean, for example, if there's like a surgery that will save your family member, and if you couldn't afford it, then like having that money would buy happiness in that case. And it's not to say that happiness is a transactional thing. It is to say though that happiness can give you access. No, money can give you access to things that could make you happy. That's kind of how where the line is drawn. But with that said, that's kind of the motivation why financial freedom is such a top tier priority in the Good Life movement. But having explained that motivation, we can go into the first tenet of financial freedom, of getting rich. And let me show you guys everything that I'm going to be teaching you about money and about financial freedom is going to be from this book, Think and Grow Rich. And I've talked about this I think in my second vlog, or like a few vlogs ago. It's been kind of a pillar in my thinking since like college. So everything that I'm going to be talking to you about is going to be based in that book, and surrounding books as well. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, some more financial, like The Intelligent Investor, and then like 4-Hour Work Week. That's also going to be something that has some interesting concepts. Absolute income versus relative income. So those kind of ideas as well will be the basis of what I'm going to be teaching you in this Good Life movement. You might be asking, why did I want to teach this? Why am I doing this movement? And I touched on this in last week's vlog as well. And basically, I wanted to start, a new renaissance. I wanted to create a movement, but also what I want to do is create the next generation of leaders in this new society that we're living in. And I wanted to learn this stuff too. I had to do a lot of work to find out all this information. I had to do the reading. I had to look this up. I had access to people who kind of showed me this as well. In my first internship in college, someone kind of taught me a lot of these things, and they kind of opened doors for me and showed me things that I didn't know were possible. So I had these kind of access to these tools and lessons, and so because I was fortunate to have someone show me these things, my world opened up to a new kind of reality, and I want to be able to make that kind of vision or that reality available to everybody else who doesn't have those opportunities that I did. So I want to teach you this movement. I want to start this movement so that everybody can have access to this information in an accessible format. It's not just for the privileged who have access to this. Anybody who has the mentality, the work ethic, the motivation to do good in the world, they should have access to this information too. And so kind of the contract that goes along with this movement, there's no such thing as a free lunch. That's also a law of power in the 48 Laws of Power. Is that I'm paying it forward for you. The contract is that you pay it forward to the next person. So off of the tools, so I will teach you tools to build a good life, and you will create tools for yourself in the process of living your good life. But the contract is that you will use those tools that you have made for yourself and that I've given you to help other people and to make the world a better place. And I think that is a fair deal, if I don't say myself. So I'm going to teach you everything that I can to make you wealthy. Everything that I'm going to do to make myself wealthy, I'm going to show you exactly what you can do to make yourself wealthy. Not only that, I'll show you, how to get fit and how to do good. leading by example. Hopefully, I hope to do good in the world. So I have to walk the walk and talk the talk as well. So it's gonna be a struggle for me too. I'm just starting myself and everything, and I'm looking to learn from you guys as well. But I want to start this debate. I want to start this conversation, create this community of people who are trying to do good in this world, and also who are building themselves up, who are becoming self-made, who are becoming entrepreneurial, and who are looking to become leaders of this new world. And then leaders of this new generation, of this new era that we're finding ourselves in. The modern times are very different. So anyways, with that said, let's go into the first tenet of wealth, first law of wealth, you could say. I'll have this in a more organized format. I'll write out a not a manifesto, but I'll write out basically these principles in a more distilled format. But the first law of wealth is assets over liabilities. So this is a law in Rich Dad Poor Dad, but this is kind of the shift in rich mindset versus poor mindset that will kind of move everything along. So what does assets versus liabilities mean? It means, in a very simple way, poor people, and that's not to say that I'm not poor myself, or was poor, is poor people buy liabilities. They buy things that don't increase their value. Rich people buy assets. They buy things that appreciate in value. So if you buy, the latest, Yeezys or the latest sneakers when you're poor, yes, they're going to be dope. You're gonna have dope ass compliments. Everybody's gonna think you're chill as fuck, but that's temporary. And as soon as you start creasing your sneakers, they're not gonna be as dope as they were. Their value decreases. Okay? But if you got something that appreciates in value, say if you bought a stock on Robinhood of the S&P 500, for example, then over a year that stock that you bought is going to be 12%, assuming conditions are good, is going to be 12% more valuable than when you first bought it. So that's an asset. Okay? So, or, you can buy those same Yeezys that you bought, but sell them again, when they increase in value. That's also an asset. But, it can get complicated. But that's kind of the main idea is, if you want to change your kind of money mentality today, realize this very simple lesson that you should prioritize spending your money on assets and not on liabilities. And you should recognize that every time you buy a liability rather than an asset, you're spending an opportunity cost. You're assuming an opportunity cost. And an opportunity cost means that there's a cost associated with every decision that you make. So every time you buy one thing, you're not just buying that one thing, you're also choosing not to buy the other thing. And you have to be considerate as well about the things that you do just as much as the things that you don't do. And so you have to recognize that there's an opportunity cost when you're buying a liability or an asset. So this is kind of these are very kind of fundamental ideas, but they take some time to digest and time to really internalize into your everyday kind of thinking and behaving and speaking. So I don't know if I introduced it in the best way, but this is kind of, I'm learning this just as long at the same time as you. So I don't know what the best way is to kind of distribute this information, but I'm trying everything I can, and we'll see how it goes. Let me know what you guys thought. Hold on. Jeez, this was a long video. let me know. I'm gonna end it at that. Let me know what you guys thought about this movement, what you thought about these concepts, whether you have a rich life, whether you want to join this movement, whether you think this is for a good cause, whether you think I'm crazy, whether you think this is never gonna work. Just let me know. I want to hear what you guys have to say. I'm still a little scatterbrained. I don't know what I'm saying because I'm trying to think about what I'm doing at the same time, but we're figuring it out together, and hopefully we'll get out of this Coronageddon one step at a time. But if you were entertained or learned something new today, drop me a like, leave me a comment like I mentioned, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell so you do not miss next week's video. As always, I love you guys, and I will see you next Thursday. Peace!